Hello, my iMathers, and welcome to the video lesson for Integers Review. Um, make sure you are ready with one form or other of the notes page that I sent to you. Either you printed a copy, you're doing it on Google Slides, or you're doing it on your own paper, and just setting it up to look like the Cornell Notes form. Okay, here we go. Here is the notes page that I sent to you. So you can fill in the learning target if it's not already filled in. This is a review. We did this unit together in the fall. So you're going to be able to, again, define integers for me, define and use absolute value, and add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers. What are the types of integers? We got two types. What are they? Positive integers and negative integers. Good. Okay, positive integers, the definition was any whole number greater than 0. So negative integers are the opposite of that, any whole number less than 0. Remember, the idea is number line based. So I guess I could draw a number line first. Let's do this, get my pen out here. Okay, 0 is at center point, and then your positives are greater than 0, and your negatives are less than 0. Positives are to the right, negatives are to the left. Okay, so positive integers can be like 2 or 10 or 100, right? Those are examples of positive integers. And then negative integers, we could just do the opposite of each of those because the negatives are the same distance away from 0. So the opposite of positive 2 is your negative 2, right? Positive 10, negative 10. Positive 100, negative 100. Okay, so that's our integers. When we were in our integer unit, we practiced writing integers from words. I had given you a whole list of words in that unit. I'm not going to do it again. You can look back in that note packet as you still have that integers note packet. But words that mean positive actions and words that mean negative actions. So my first example, a loss of 10 yards. Loss is the key word there. Is that a positive action or a negative action? Thinking on the football field. Do you want to lose yards or gain? Lose is negative. So you would translate that to negative 10. The translation of this little statement goes to this number here, okay? Or depositing $2,000 in your bank. Deposit's a key word. Is that a positive action or a negative action? Adding to your savings is positive. Okay, so these words translate to this number, positive 2,000. And for positives, you don't have to write a plus. Just writing the number, we know it's positive. The other piece that is already something that you should be pulling out of that file in your brain, absolute value. What is the definition of absolute value? Absolute value is, come on, Sydney. Gabe, I know you know. Absolute value is the distance an integer is away from 0, right? That distance. And what does absolute value look like? It's these two vertical lines, right? And then we put a number on the inside. And we read that as follows. The absolute value of 12. That's how you would read this. Tell me, what is the absolute value of 12? Well, 12 is how many steps from 0? 12 steps. So the absolute value of 12 is 12. It's 12 because 12 is 12 steps away from 0, right? But then we did problems like this, where there was an actual operation within the absolute value. So we would read this as the absolute value of 7 minus 5. All right, absolute value symbols, when there's an operation inside, it's like PEMDAS, do that math first. So what's 7 minus 5? 2. So you're really taking the absolute value of 2. How far from 0 is 2? 2. 2 steps from 0, so the absolute value is 2. Right, I know I went through that really fast. It's a video. You can pause me. You can write. You can rewind me. You can listen again. But all this should be coming out of here from the beginning of the year. Page 2. All right, so we learned about positive and negative integers, and then we learned to work with them. So now we're going to review how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers. Let's focus on the adding and subtracting first. When you add or subtract, 2 words. You either party, let's get this party started, woo, woo, woo. I know Gabe's doing it with me, right? So you party if they're the same sign. They're both positive. Combine them and keep the sign. If they're both negative, combine them and keep the sign. Get the party started, party, 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 right? If they're not the same sign, then it's a battle, launch the cannons. I can't remember anything else he said, but that was part of the battle, right? It's a fight. They're different. So we subtract instead of add. And then how do we figure out if the answer is positive or negative? That's where absolute value comes in, right? Whoever has the greatest absolute value, we keep that sign. So let's look at a couple together. All right, so let's do -2 plus -4. Is it a party? Woo, 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 or a battle? Launch it. It's a party. They're the same sign, right? So you would add them. 2 plus 4, 6, and you keep the sign. You're traveling that same way on the number line, okay? Let's look at another example here. I have 3 plus 10. Is that a party or a battle? Different signs, it's a battle. So we're not going to add them, we're going to subtract. 10 minus 3 is 7. Now, before you write your answer, which one's a greater distance from 0? -3 or a 10? 10. So it's a positive 7. Okay? So these are just a couple examples. If you want more practice with integer adding and subtracting, that's in the integer unit on your Google Classroom. But I would be happy to supply you with that. You could just reach out to me, okay? Adding and subtracting, party or battle. Okay, multiplying and dividing had different rules. If they were the same sign, your product was always positive. So a positive times a positive is a positive, and negative times a negative is also a positive. Different signs, your product's negative. So if you have one of each, a positive and a negative, then you're going to have a negative product. Okay, that was a really quick review. Oh, product or quotient. Same goes for division, okay? Super quick review. If you have any questions, write them in your column. If I've asked you to submit these notes, then you'll submit that and I can look at those questions then. There will be some practice to follow. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you again soon.